Hey man, so we got a Minuteman gear update. We do this from time to time where as I'm getting my Minuteman gear ready, I'm going through changes and iterations. Let me point out once again that I'm not a Minuteman. A Minuteman is a very special type of militiaman, but we all know what I'm talking about. I'm using the term. I'm just general militia. So this is my old 782 Deuce gear. We've talked about it before, and we'll try to put links to this video at the end. Here's what's changed, or is about to change. In the past, I've had these old 20-round Vietnam-era Colt magazines in here because I really like them and I'm nostalgic, but they don't work well with these magazines, these magazine pouches. You know, they get down in here, they're below the level of the magazine pouch, and you can't get them out. So I've replaced them, and I'm really excited because I was actually able to replace them with old Colt GI 30 rounders. So I've still got old Colt magazines. They're just 30 rounders now instead of the 20 rounders. So I'm a little more tactical now than I was. I still have not been able to bring myself to cut the dividers out of the magazine pouches, even though a number of you, including Pastor Fox, said to. I just can't do it. I don't know if it's my little Marine Corps mind or what, but I just can't bring myself to cut out the divider. The other thing is that we have decided to do away with the upside down hanging knife. It looked really cool, but as you can see, the magazine pouch interferes with it. And as, again, Pastor Fox, and yes, I am name dropping, Pastor Fox pointed out when you're low crawling, this thing can get pulled out, even though it's hard to get out anyway. So the other issue is that I always carry a pocket knife, a 6-inch blade pocket knife, and then we also have the tomahawk on here, which we'll talk about in a minute. So what function does this really serve? And the truth is, it just looks cool. So it doesn't actually have a function. So we're taking it off, and hopefully I can take it off of here without cutting myself. So our really cool Glock upside down dagger is gone. I'm proud of myself. Normally, I would always err on the side of looking cool, but there you go, it's gone. Which brings us to the tomahawk. We've shown our tomahawk before. We've got that the Rifleman from Cold Steel. It's a big 2-pound handle. Jimmy D, one of our moderators, sent us the Trailhawk, which is much smaller and much handier. We're actually going to do a video on these two. We talked about them a little bit in another video, but we're going to play around with them, the power versus speed thing. You know, the question becomes now which one goes on the Minuteman gear. And actually I've decided it's pretty much mission dependent at this point until further testing. Overnight trips would get the Rifleman, day trips would get the Trailhawk. That's my thinking right now. Like I said, we're gonna play around with these. We'll do it on video because it just sounds fun, and we'll test the whole speed versus power prospect. But I'm pretty sure no matter what comes out of that, I would still use this one, you know, mission dependent. This one for maybe longer trips, and this one for short day trips. And we'll also talk about that at some point. That is both the curse and the great strength of tomahawks. But there you go, man. So the Minuteman gear is evolving. That's where we're at now. We've replaced the 20 rounders. Those are old Vietnam era steel follower 20 rounders. I like them a lot. But we replaced those with 30 rounders. So now we've got a full combat load 7 magazine. Oh no, I apologize. I only have 6 30 rounders total. So I'm still going to have a 20 rounder in the rifle to start with. That way I won't have the issue of trying to get the 20 rounder out of the magazine pouches. I know you would say start with the 30 rounder, but I think, you know, the difficulty of deploying the 30 rounder negates the difficulty of deploying the 20 rounder out of the 30 round magazine pouches negates the, you know what I'm talking about. So there you go. So I'm going to have the 20 rounder in the rifle. At some point I'll just go get another 30 round magazine. It's just not in the budget right now, but it will be before too much longer. And then we're going to play around with these tomahawks. And I might reevaluate my my folding knife. I'm not putting this back on as much as I like this knife. But my folding knife right now is a buck. It's a decent knife. I question if it's my only knife. I question if it's the one I want or not, because it's a less expensive buck. It's fine, but you know, I'm a guy, it's gear. It's an excuse to get a new knife, right? Anyway, there you go, man. We appreciate you. Thank you. I forgot. I'm sorry. I just wanted to mention real quick, the flashlight, the old moonbeam, is still with us for the time being. I know it's a pathetic excuse for a flashlight, at least when compared to modern flashlights, but it's what we have at the moment, so we're sticking with it. The deal is, I'm not sure what I want to replace it with. I know there's great options out there. I just don't know great now. Because I'm on camera, I won't be able to put it back on. There's great options out there. Did that handle come off on camera? Did they see that? It's winter. All the wood has shrunk down on my handles, so I've got to fit them a little bit better. They work great during the summer when the humidity's up and everything swells. But with the the wood shrunk up in this winter now, they're not sticking as tight as they should. But they do fine. So I'm not sure what I want to replace it with. There's all kinds of options out there. Here's the deal, and I know I'm about to commit heresy, and everyone's going to tell me how stupid I am. I don't actually think flashlights are that big of a deal. I gotta go back, tell you an old story. Anyone who's in the military, though, can verify this to me. You weren't allowed in the field to strike a match. And they would tell you that the glow of a cigarette, or smoke a cigarette. You couldn't smoke a cigarette in the field because they would tell you the glow of the cigarette would travel, and the number you would hear varied depending on who was telling it. Anywhere from a mile, I heard someone say 3 miles one time, that the glow of a cigarette could be seen from a mile to 3 miles away. And it could give away your position, and they would call down artillery fire on that little glowing ember in the distance, and you would all die, and the bad people would come and steal your beans and rice. That's not what they said, but that's the modern interpretation. That's our application. So now maybe that's just foolishness, and maybe they were just telling that to us to keep us from smoking cigarettes in the field. But it's stuck in my mind. A flashlight to me shows you to someone else as much as it shows anything else to you. So I question the wisdom of using a flashlight tactically. Now, there's times, when you're camping or whatever, I'm not saying you don't need a flashlight. I question and obviously I have a flashlight on here, so I'm not saying you should not have one, but I question the criticalness. How critical is it to have, the perfect flashlight? I'm sure if I had the perfect flashlight, I would love it and wouldn't want to give it up. But it's just not like, so this red light lens flashlight, the only thing we ever really used them for was checking the map in the night when we were doing some sort of night maneuver, and that was it. You would check your map. Other than that, they weren't good for anything. I could shine them at the camera right now, and it wouldn't illuminate the camera in the dark. On purpose. You did not want that bright light going. So I'm sort of, like I said, just sort of at I wouldn't say a standstill or an impasse, but maybe a crossroads on the whole flashlight thing. And by the way, for me, this extends to tactical lights on weapons. And I know, again, there's a lot of really smart tactical guys who say you have to have flashlight on a weapon, but a flashlight on a weapon only illuminates exactly what you're looking at. If you need a flashlight on your weapon, that means everything else around you is dark. So you can only see that one little spot in front of you, but everyone else around you knows exactly where you're at. And all they got to do is shoot the bright light. So again, I just question the efficacy. That's not the right word, but it's close. I question some of the doctrine and the dogma on the whole flashlight thing. I want a good flashlight. I want a nice LED small flashlight that has great battery life, but a real localized dim light that, like I said, will let you maybe read the map or fumble with something that you're working with. But as far as I just don't know. And like I said, smarter people than me, more experienced people than me disagree. I usually have to learn things the hard way, but that's where we are in the flashlight. And now we appreciate you, man. Thank you.